Yes, it is time. It is me. I'm here for the Talkin ish, as you see, as a new intro. It's looking good.
Yo, sorry. I had to go run an errand. I'm being treated like a sideman today. It's pissing me off, bro.
No worries, no worries.
I'm at home, yeah. I'm on road at the moment, so I'm trying to get back as quick as I can.
Okay. Well, it's all good. We just kicked
That's why
it
there's
off.
no camera today, because I'm on cupboard settings. I'm on cupboard settings right now, but I soon reach.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we've only got one Donny in here, so big up yourself, Sean. Always coming through. Canada is all we need to know. Watching Ghana with Rich and Roland and T Talks in 24 minutes. Listen, if you want to go and watch the watch along, it's on Eagle Eye Football as well, and it's on Pros Only TV. So go and check them out. But we've got some of our own little things that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And it's well, it kind of does fit into what we've just spoken about with the fact that there are loads of international friendlies going on right now. There's World Cup qualifiers going on right now. It's pretty mad, really. Like the AFCON's back again. Like it's coming back, isn't it? Because it's happening again this year, or is it next year? Well, I can't really remember because it's because I think COVID messed it up, so they're doing 2 years of AFCON in a row.
No, it's next year.
Or are they doing the qualifiers for it now? Or is they doing World Cup qualifiers?
Well, no, this is the World Cup qualifiers as we speak. So this is for the World Cup. Because normally AFCON works like the Euros. When it's the World Cup 1 year, it's the Euros 2 years after that. So both tournaments are 4 years apart from each other. And I think it works the same in AFCON, but I think AFCON is every 2 years outside of a World Cup year.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, World Cup 2010, it would have been AFCON 2011.
Yeah.
And so on and so on and so on. And obviously, AFCON was meant to be 2021, but we all know what happened last year. Pandemic settings.
Stay at home, work from home.
Or if you're Boris Johnson, throw Christmas parties in Downing Street. Floppy head, wallad.
And if you're Hancock, fall in love with your secretary and get caught.
Yeah, well, the last part of his surname was accurate, but we won't get into that.
This isn't a political discussion.
But talking ish can get political, you know. It is what it is.
Talking ish is talking ish. We're talking about anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will drop the link, so if people want to come in, they can.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I think the first subject which we should touch on is probably what would you rather do? Would you rather do the international fixtures, or would you rather do our seasons grading right now?
Let's do the international fixtures because Bonucci, what are you saying, brother? This guy was chatting the most after the Euro final, and let's be fair, Italy did deserve the win. Yeah. I'm not salty, but how did these men get put in a spliff by a country the size of Leicester? Leicester, that fam. Nah, mate. Nah, to be fair, Italy peppered them. Like, obviously, the scoreline says 1-0, but Italy should have murdered them.
Yeah. Yeah, I only saw that. I didn't see any other matches, really. What happened? Brazil beat Chile 4-0. Let's have a look. Okay.
Sorry, 1 second. 1 second. Nearly there,
Oh.
nearly there, nearly there.
Oh, wow. France Ivory Coast is 1-0, and it's 20 minutes gone.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zaha with the assist.
Man like Wilf.
But, man, Italy. The Euros curse continues, man. If you win the Euros, you don't get into the World Cup. It's happened for the last couple teams.
Well, I swear Portugal were in the World Cup, though, in Russia.
Yeah, but they got knocked out like super early, though, didn't they? They didn't even get out of the group.
Yeah. That's right. Ronaldo got put in a split early doors. That's right.
Yeah, Ronaldo had enough.
You know what? Maybe it's a good thing we didn't win it in the end.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the runner-up. I can't remember which way around it is. I think it's actually the runner-up of the Euros wins the World Cup. I'm not sure if that's a fact or not. I doubt it. But
France were the runners-up in 2016's Euros. So
yeah, and then they won it after, didn't they?
Yeah, albeit, let's be fair, France have an infinitely better team than England, so I wouldn't really be.
And then and then they flopped out of the group stage of the Euros, which Italy won.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh man, but there are some results.
No, but to be fair to North Macedonia, JC, fair play to them, because obviously,
100%.
Nobody would have backed them to beat Italy, because even though Italy have been dead food in the World Cup, they haven't qualified for the last two. Remind you, which it sounds even weird saying that. It's like, okay, some of the smaller countries around Europe, you'd understand, but Italy, they're one of the powerhouses of European competition in like international football. They should be at every World Cup, because the Italians make the World Cup great, even if their football's hella defensive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they've got some very good, exciting players in that squad as well. Like their left back Spinazzola, he's a winger. He's like a better PVA.
Are you trying to trigger me?
It's talking ish.
Yeah, there's talking ish, and then there's talking crap, mate. There's a big difference.
But yeah, they got some good players in their team. Man like Immobile, looking very immobile in that game yesterday.
Yeah, Ciro Immobile, yeah.
Insigne.
Marco Verratti, Insigne.
Man like Dead Food. What did he rank in the Ballon d'Or? He got Jorginho fourth in the Ballon d'Or for doing fuck all.
Yeah, but bruv, in fairness, Luka Modric won it, and it was like, mate, they just gave that to shut up the whole Messi Ronaldo business.
Yeah, but
they broke the streak. It's like the Undertaker. They said, you know what? We'll give it to Shawn Michaels. Now we'll give it to Bret the Hitman Hart. Now we'll give it to The Rock. Now we'll give it to Stone Cold. Then they said, no, we'll give it to Brock Lesnar, and they eventually broke the streak. They wanted to prove it's not Messi and Ronaldo swapping it every year. It's like, we know it's Messi. We know it's these two men swapping it every year. It's not. No, we're not silly out here.
But I don't get it though, because I swear he's got like 2 assists his whole time at Chelsea, and you're thinking, why are you even nominated?
Because it's that blood money tax, man.
Penalty merchant.
Bro, I think Luka scores more penalties than this guy, bro. And Luka's dead food.
Man's hop, skip, and a jump settings.
Hopscotch.
Man's playing hopscotch before he kicks the ball, bro. I can't tell what's worse, Pogba's penalties or his.
Oh boy! Well,
because at least with Pogba's, you can have a laugh at him while he's running or while he's walking.
Well, if you want to talk about awful penalties, we need to holler at Kepa. Need I say more?
Well, if you talk about Kepa, you need to big up Wayne as well. Because
and punching.
We don't talk about punching. Mate, they've built a whole new stadium there and it still ain't come down yet.
Yeah, trust me.
But yeah, man, it's looking to be the World Cup's always an exciting occasion.
Although it's going to be Poxy having it in the winter this year, if that May.
Yeah, and I think that the actual games are going to be on at stupid o'clock in the morning, aren't they? Because it's in Qatar. I'm
Yeah,
not
the
sure what the time difference is, because the time difference is going to make up for it because they're going to have to play the games at like midnight, or it'll be too hot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it'd be way too hot, and even then, I don't think.
Yeah, even at midnight, man, that's going to be hot. How the hell are the players going to sleep during the daytime unless it's heavily air conditioned? It probably will be, but it's not nice to be a night owl for. Like, if you go all the way, you're going to be not seeing the light of day for probably about a month, maybe more.
Going to be turning the Smeagol FC fan. Smeagol, why does he cry, Smeagol? Oh my lord!
Oh man, but
listen, we all know why.
Always a massive occasion.
Yeah, but we all know why Qatar got the World Cup. Same way Russia got the World Cup. Sepp Blatter, it's not about the money. Big man, who are you trying to fool, bro?
Themselves. That's what's happening.
And then all of a sudden, we got to talk about a certain country that won't be named, throwing in their hat to dismantle the UK and Ireland's bid for the Euros of 2028. What's up?
Waste country, man. They shouldn't be allowed to do nothing until like 2050 at least.
Well, we need who put in a spliff because, mate, I'm done with this guy.
He's a waste, man.
Man's bombing maternity hospitals. That don't make you big.
Churches, apartment blocks. Mate, we said this wasn't going to get political, and it's just
no. But
downhill.
No. But you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, this all has a knock-on effect. I mean, look, if this hadn't happened, like, let's be fair. If this, like, our opponents in the FA Cup semi-final have a knock-on effect to this. So even if you didn't want to talk politics, you have to talk politics because
well, they're allowed to sell tickets for this game, aren't they? They've got the government's approval. Well,
to be fair, that Abramovich wouldn't make a penny out of it because it's for Wembley anyway. It goes to Wembley because it's part of the FA. It's in the FA's.
That's probably the grounds that they got it passed on.
Well, not even that. Just like think about it. Like,
all of Chelsea's ticket.
If it was held at Stamford Bridge, that would be totally different. But it's held at Wembley. Now, I'm in that camp of I want the semi-finals played at neutral venues, so it's not played at Wembley.
Oh, what? If like Villa Park or something like that.
Villa Park, Old Trafford, even Emirates, somewhere where it's not Wembley. If it's played somewhere where there's no, like for example, granted, if say Arsenal, Man United are in the final, so semi-final rather, it should be played at any other ground but their ground.
Spurs Stadium. That's where it should have been.
That would have been pretty. But the Chelsea fans would have bashed the place up, bro.
Yeah,
it's like
it's a nice stadium, though.
It's a nice stadium, but it's like them lot sending us to the shithole on the south coast. I wouldn't go. I'd say, no, I ain't paying money to go to that place. You mad?
Yeah, like you would like. But then again, you said the same thing for Chelsea fans going to Arsenal. It just wouldn't happen, would it?
Yeah, but let's be honest. I'd rather go Emirates than Amex.
Oh,
they're both soulless bowls, but at least the Emirates, it's not as big a fucking pilgrimage. Because mate, that train from Brighton to their stadium is dead.
Yeah, man. Aaron, how are you doing, my friend?
I am good. I've just made a big announcement on social media this evening.
What's the announcement?
So I'm going to be doing media coverage for this year's Legends match between Sheffield Wednesday and Doncaster Rovers. I've been invited by the charity to do it, so get to see Chris Brunt and Chris Waddle and see them in training, and get to speak to them before and after, and travel with the team on the day, and massive opportunity, big announcement this evening. So I'm quite happy with that. Just hope it don't get ruined tomorrow if we get beat again by Charlton.
Ooh. We need you to beat them for us.
Don't hold your breath. We're about as useful as a wet dummy.
Oh, don't worry. It's only Charlton. It's just some amateur team. Don't worry about them. You'll beat them.
They beat us 4-0 last time. So
listen. Let them look. They keep banging on. Look, they keep banging on to us about how they sent us down in 2005. Trust me. Don't hold them to their word. They're a very strange little football club.
They've got their strongest players back, and we've just got one of our strikers out for the season and one of our best midfielders on international duty. We're gonna get humiliated 6-0.
Now that you've said that, we're going to reverse psychology. They're going to get hammered 6-0 because trust me, nothing would make me happier than seeing these lot just put in a spliff. It's like, yep, okay, normal service has resumed. We aren't playing this weekend, but these lot lost. So that's cool.
Fair enough. The gap's still 4 points from safety, so I can cling on to that for now.
You'll make it, man. You got to believe, bro.
Yeah.
You got to believe until it's mathematically done. Then you start. Yeah. Then that's when you be sad for a bit. Then you rebuild it. If you get out, you'll come up next season. We'll do our madness next season.
But unless your manager's Frank Lampard, I wouldn't be too worried because that guy, bro, JC, we need to talk about this guy. You know.
Listen, we'll get Aaron's take on how the World Cup qualifiers are going.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. We got don't worry, we got Gary McSheffrey, so it's fine.
I'd rather McSheffrey than Lampard. But anyway, Aaron, what we wanted to ask you was, look, like obviously Rich and Roland are doing a watch along for Ghana versus Nigeria in the African World Cup qualifiers.
Okay.
So what we're asking you is, obviously you would have seen Italy lost last night to North Macedonia. Shout out to them, massive result for them. But World Cup is going to be interesting now. Obviously, it's in Qatar. It's in the winter. It's going to be poxy looking at all this heat in the middle of the desert, and we're all freezing cold. It's like you couldn't have put it anywhere else on the planet, even Australia, South Korea, Japan, somewhere where we know there's a sense of sensibility to it. No, you sold the oil money and put it in Qatar. But what? Obviously, who do you think should qualify out of the remaining teams that still have to just try and get through? The likes of Portugal. I think Wales are still in contention as well, to name two. But there's a few.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to try and bring up the...
JC's doing that now.
Yeah. All the Asia ones have qualified. There's still a couple of teams in the States. South America's done. Africa, I think's done.
No, Africa's there's playoffs in Africa, I think.
Yeah, playoffs. Sorry, yeah. So
because obviously Egypt plays Senegal. That's a huge game.
Yeah. So. Countries like Sweden, Poland, Portugal,
Czech Republic, I think, or Slovakia,
Cameroon.
We can't say Russia now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll call them the Voldemort country. You know what I mean?
The Voldemort country.
Because he looks like Voldemort. Big man, he looks like Voldemort. I'm not even joking.
It looks like
have you seen how he walks? He only swings one arm. The other arm is just dead.
Like I said, Voldemort.
Oh, he looks like Voldemort with a bit more swag.
Less. I don't know. I don't know about that now, but fair enough.
You know what? I think I'm going to give Norway a chance. I think they could still qualify.
JC, if Norway qualify and Alexander Sørloth scores a goal, I'm giving up watching football for the rest of my life.
I think they will qualify because Haaland's not injured anymore. So
yeah, no. See, Haaland, you'd expect it, but it's Alexander Sørloth, brother. It's like this brother could not score from 2 Ross Clark yards out. It was like, mate, the goal was looking at you and you put it wide. My lord.
Okay.
In his defense, though, in his defense, he wasn't as bad as Adi Akinbaye. That's a totally different level of bad.
I personally wanted Norway to qualify. I think.
Well, there's teams still like Canada, which have got a very good team right now.
Yeah, Alfonso Davies and Jonathan David.
USA as well, Costa Rica.
America.
Fuck yeah.
America.
I think I'm not going to count Wales out yet. I think that they could definitely go through.
Yeah,
You know
Uruguay
what?
haven't made it yet.
I'd love Wales to go through. It'd be good to see have another home nation in the World Cup.
Yeah, I think Wales did quite well.
Uruguay,
So.
Uruguay, Sweden, Poland, Turkey.
Yeah,
like Senegal, Mali, Nigeria.
I want
Senegal.
Iceland to get
won
more.
AFCON, so they're in already.
I want to get Iceland.
No, because they're playing Egypt for a playoff, are they not?
Well, Senegal.
Senegal.
I swear it's Senegal.
They're playing Egypt.
Are you sure it's Cameroon?
Cameroon's got Algeria.
Yeah,
Cameroon, Algeria. Senegal, Egypt. I thought because Senegal won.
I knew it. I was like, I know that because I remember they said it was either Mane or Salah will go to the World Cup and the other one doesn't.
I wanted Iceland to get in there because I would have enjoyed to see what Iceland would have done. I reckon they could have been a surprise.
Well, luckily we don't have the England team of 2016 anymore, so I wouldn't be too worried about Iceland now. But to be fair to them, I was happy for them. I was like, do you know what? England were that shit. You can't help but say fair play to Iceland. It's like, mate.
Yeah. I was fuming on the night, but then I looked back and thought, you know what? No, I'm going to give them a credit where it's due. Iceland were fucking brilliant.
No, you know what it is? I wasn't even angry. I was just like, fair play to Iceland. They did what England didn't do. They played the game. England got caught up in the occasion.
I think during that time, I think we realised that English football's is probably one of the most hyped up leagues in the world.
No. The England team. There's a big difference. The English league has earned its hype. The England team hasn't.
I think the English league has earned some of its hype. I think the foreign players are carrying some of the England players. Some of them.
Oh no,
all of them.
For definite, Aaron. But what I'm trying to say is that the Premier League itself has solidified its place as one of the top leagues in the world. The difference is that the Premier League, right? The Premier League is marketed across the world. Best league in the world, all of that. Cool. The England team, on the other hand, for years in the media, it's coming home. Golden generation, it's coming home. The rest of it, they did nothing. It was literally qualify, play, get past the group, round of 16, quarterfinals, go home. That was it. It was copy and paste every single tournament. It was only when it was 1 second, Aaron. It was only when the 2014 World Cup hit that people realized, wait a minute, we're actually not that good. Because we finished bottom of the group. And Costa Rica, fair play to them, they finished top. And you're thinking, wait a minute, what do you mean we're out already? And you look at it and go, no, we deserved it. We were trash. Euro 2016, everybody thought, oh yeah, England will steamroll Iceland. Iceland said, oh really? Okay, challenge accepted. And what happened? We got put in a spliff by Vikings, who made us look like clowns. And we deserved it. World Cup 2018 comes along. Nobody was back in England. Nobody. And a semi-final. For the first time in years, England actually turned up to a tournament and won people's respect. And then the Euros last year, it was like so close. But you know what? This England team you can identify with because there's players that make sense to you. It's not reputations anymore. It's actually merited earning their place.
Yeah, I get that. I think my main problem with English football, though, is the fact that the Premier League seems to be taking all the credit for for English football's progress, where if it wasn't for the lower divisions, we wouldn't have had the players that we've got now. I mean, look at Jacob Ramsey, who was developed in the EFL, same with Harry Kane, Daniel Sturridge, Kieran Trippier. All these players that have become generational players have been developed through the academy systems and also lower league football. It seems like we've been forgotten about. So that's why I've got such a grudge against some English players, because it feels like they're just forgetting where they came from and forgetting their roots and just thinking they're Billy Big Bollocks, when half the time some of the foreign players in their club team are carrying them. That's why I've had my grudge.
No, listen, that's totally merited, because look, Aaron, JC will back me up. We haven't forgotten what it feels like to be a football league club. We remember it very well, because it wasn't that long ago. We were hoping our football club didn't go out of business.
I remember that.
So for us to see Wilfried Zaha as a championship player make his England debut was a big moment for us.
Yeah.
Because we never thought we'd see that.
Well, Zaha's
Yeah?
literally I'm just watching it now. Zaha's just put Varane in the spliff completely.
Again, like,
Yeah, he was running at him and he twisted him up so bad he just dropped.
like we've had players that have been, you know, they've not been given more credit than they should have been getting at our club, but because all the credit seems to be going to players that play for money, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's merited, but at the same time, like Tyrick Mitchell, for example, came through Brentford's academy when they were a football league club. They can now look at him and say, "Oh my God, somebody we had at our academy before we closed it down is now in the England team." And obviously, he came through our youth system as well. So we're looking at it going, "Holy shit, we've got an academy graduate in the national team. That's unheard of for us." Obviously, it helps when the England manager is another former academy product of ours. Just saying. But no, what I'm saying though is that for years and years and years and years and years, there were England players being picked because they played for certain clubs, despite the fact there were players lower down the Premier League and even in the Championship that put up better numbers, put up better performances, and looked the better package. But because they weren't playing at the halcyon lights of Man United and Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, all of that, fair enough, they weren't picked. Now that you're seeing that, like for example, Kyle Walker-Peters, had he not left Tottenham to go to Southampton, he wouldn't be looked at Tottenham because Tottenham only pick Harry Kane really, and Walker-Peters is not dislodging Emerson or Matt Doherty. But look at Walker-Peters now; he's gone to Southampton and is ripping it up alongside Livramento, who's a player that I think England really need to lock in quick. Because if he goes to play for Italy, we're in trouble. That's a kid you don't want to lose to another nationality.
Well, it's a bit like with Elise, isn't it? Elise can choose England, France, Nigeria, or Algeria.
Yeah. He ain't picking England because let's be honest.
If I was him, I'm picking France.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they've only got one right winger, and he's always injured in Dembele. So.
And he identifies as French anyway, so he'd be mad to not want to play for France.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, the minute he becomes English, his value will go through the roof, but it'll be exponentially higher than he's actually worth.
Yeah.
For example, if had he been English when we bought him, it'd be 16 million. It'd be double what we paid.
Well, yeah, it's a bit like with Eze. He's English or Nigerian, isn't he? But I think right now he identifies as English.
Yeah.
So he could carry I know those Newcastle rumours were all rubbish anyway, but when they were saying 45, 50 million, I'm thinking the English tax is so real him, and I know Eze's worth it, but you're thinking 30, 40 because he's still coming back from an injury, but 50 straight away.
Yeah, but if he declared for Nigeria, it would have been 25.
Oh, 100%. If he declares as not English, his valuation plummets.
Bear in mind, look at Wan-Bissaka. If he declares for the DR of Congo, he'd go from 50 mil to 20 mil max. Now, obviously, that's a disrespect to African footballers because without African football, we wouldn't have Yaya Toure, Roger Milla, Kolo Toure, Abedi Pele, Didier Drogba, Patrick Vieira,
Essien,
the late great Mark Vivian Foe, rest in peace. Samuel Eto'o, there's another one.
Essien.
Michael Essien, yeah. John Obi Miguel. I said Vieira already, but yeah. Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, Riyad Mahrez.
Elad's Diouf. I think he was.
I don't know about Diouf. I'm not. I know he played for Senegal, but yeah, Diouf's not that.
Benzema as well. Even though he identifies as French, he is Algerian. Yeah.
And Zinedine Zidane, of course, even though he again identifies as French, but you know. But yeah, JC, let's grade every team's season so far. So we'll assess their high points, their low points, and we'll go through their overall kind of season so far, really.
Do you want to go bottom to top or top to bottom?
Bottom to top.
Yeah.
All right. So currently Norwich are bottom with 17 points and a minus 45 goal difference.
Ooh.
Aaron, you take this one. You can go first, mate.
So what's the grade? Sort of, what's the score?
Okay, so the way to work this is that A being they're having the best season possible, which in Norwich's case is not true. F being they should just liquidate and just delete club, reset, restart the game, just go back and get a financial takeover. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 million. Stay in the championship. You're dead food. So the criteria is from A to F.
I'm not going to go too far as F because I think Norwich were expected to be in that sort of relegation zone.
True.
I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to go for a D because I think that Dean Smith is trying to keep them up. It might not be enough, but at least they're trying compared to previous years where it feels like they've just gone from bad to worse. So I think a D is a fair sort of summarization.
Yeah, JC, what do you reckon for Norwich? And Sean, I didn't run home. Trust me, if I'd have ran home, I'd have been out of breath, mate.
I think when it comes to Norwich, I think that they've settled for a very bad business. Like they're sort of running it as a business in a very bad way. I know a football club is a football club at the heart, but behind the scenes, it is a business.
Yeah.
And I think they're running it horribly in the sense of the owners are very content with coming up, going down, coming up, going down. So to me, it looks like, because when you come up, you get £100 million. Where does it go? They don't invest it in the summer. It just seems like it goes straight into the owners' pockets. So to me, it looks like every 2 years, they get an extra £100 million in their pocket. So I would agree with Aaron in that it's a D, but I think if they changed their morals and maybe spent a bit more time in the championship and built up the team to then come back and have a fighting chance, I would have probably, in the Premier League, I probably would have given them a bit higher, but I think they deserve the D grade right now.
That's fair. I mean, for me, as you said, JC, their model just stinks of pure, well, we're too good for the champ. We're not good enough for the Prem. So we'll take the 100. No, they're cool with that, right? But if you're a Norwich City season ticket holder, you've been going Norwich since your mum or your dad or your brother or your sister or somebody close to you brought you to Carrow Road for the very first time. You're not going to win the league. You're not getting Europe, but you've got every chance of being an established Premier League team and maybe challenging for a cup if you've built up a good enough squad and you've got good enough depth. A little bit like we have. We laboured and laboured and laboured and laboured. Dead food after dead food manager. And eventually, we'd gotten such a good infrastructure in, we could do what we've done, and it kind of could have gone the other way this summer. And I'm not trying to use us as an example here, but Norwich fans, by and large, they just want to support their team and show that this is who they are and the rest of it. But if I was a Norwich fan, I'd be pissed at the way they're being run because it's just accepting to be crap, rather than you can be crap and stay in the league. Like Burnley, for example. Burnley know they're not going to pull up any trees, but they're functional enough to get the points in early so that they're not going looking over their shoulder. Whereas Norwich just like, hi.
They're already looking at the championship before kickoff.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? The minute the Premier League badge goes on the sleeve, they've got to start peeling it off again. Macron settings, bro. You know. If you've never had your kids made by Macron, you know what I'm on about. But
I've got many shirts where the gack is just half peeled off, and I haven't done anything to it.
Mate, GAC was the worst shirt sponsor ever. We had that for like, what was it, five?
It was a long time. It was a very long time.
10 years, isn't it? It was like, oh my lord. But only because they've got no ambition. You got to give them an E, because like Norwich fans have to part with their money to put up with this year in, year out. That would drive me insane if that was us. I can accept if we're crap and we're in the championship and we're just staying in the mid-table of the championship. But to go up, go down, go up, go down.
That's got to be very demoralising to support the club as well.
Yeah.
Like at least if you're mid-table Prem or lower half Prem, you kind of know where you are. You know your level. You're not gonna be like, oh, we should be challenging for Europe. You're like, no, where we are is fine. But Norwich, you couldn't tell what they want because they don't know what they want, because their owners are like, no, we'll take the paycheck. Oh, what's that? We're not good enough for the Prem? We'll take the parachute payments. But then they got to pay it back when they come back up again. That's like going to the bank, asking for a loan, and then paying half the loan back already. It's like, what are you doing? Man, no, yeah, E. Who's in 19th, JC?
It's the team we was just talking about, Burnley. 19th, 21 points, minus 16 goal difference.
See, this is the thing. Burnley normally are a team that you put in the relegation picture, but you tend to have them just above the dotted line. So with this one, you could argue they shouldn't be where they are because they do have some quality players like Weghorst, Cornet, Nick Pope's a good goalkeeper.
They've turned a corner since January, 100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? And look, the minute they got that money for Chris Wood, you're like, they're laughing. They are laughing.
Yeah, I think it's the thing that makes me so happy about what's happened with Burnley is that Newcastle tried to royally stitch them up, but Newcastle have actually made Burnley a better team. And that's the best thing I see about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them where, a relegation rival thinks they've got your best player, but you've just gone, oh, what's that? You've taken a player that's half decent. We've brought in a clinical finisher that will score us goals. But then you look at their back line, it's like, Ben Mee and these man. It's like Smeagol settings out here.
He doesn't even want to be there.
Trust me. I mean, the minute Burnley got Wayne Hennessy on a free, I'm like, you man are looking for relegation. But cool, take him. You can have him. You can have him free of charge. Just dash away the receipt.
But then they make the out of nowhere signing of Cornet as well.
In it, RKO settings, ready, RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think I'll take Burnley. I think I'll give them the D rating as well, in the sense of they're probably going down this year, and they've had a very good time in the Premier League. I don't know. I've always quite liked Burnley just for the pure sense of everyone else hates them and wants them gone. But I
don't mind them.
But I quite like the fact that no one wants them there. But no matter what they do, Burnley are always there. If you know what I mean.
Brad, you know what it is? These men are Millwall North.
Millwall North and slightly less racist.
I know. Listen, bruv, there's racist and then there's Millwall. There's a big difference.
Yeah, there's racist and then there's inbred. We'll do that. But yeah, I think you got to give Burnley a D. I think that their league form hasn't been good enough before January. I think that their grade rises up a bit because of the business of signing Cornet and signing Weghorst and their form after January. But I don't think you can push it any higher than a D because of the pure fact that they are in the relegation zone and there's not many more games to play. Yeah. However, they do have 2 games in hand compared to their other relegation rivals.
For real. 18th.
Oh no, I haven't given my Burnley rating yet. I'm going to agree, D.
Okay. 18th is Watford. 22 points, so only 1 more than Burnley. However, it's a minus 26 goal difference. Nate, what grade are you giving that one?
I mean, I'm not going to get boastful out here or anything, but didn't they say that our manager was the first to get sacked? Didn't they say that our manager was going to get us relegated? Didn't they say that Watford will finish above us? And didn't they say that, what was that again? Watford are such a well-run club. Yeah, that well-run, they had to dig up Roy Hodgson from the retirement home, and even Roy couldn't save them. And I like Roy Hodgson. I don't like his football, but I like him as a man. But I'm going to tell you this. With Watford, they're like Norwich. They're too good for the champ, but they're too shit for the Prem.
Yeah.
So they're stuck in that dead food limbo of, what's that? We're getting relegated again. Okay, we'll take the paycheck. Yay, we're going back up again. We're going to get clapped. They do get a big result, though. I'll give them that. Because remember, they stopped Liverpool's unbeaten run a few years ago, 3-0. When we beat the Seaweed away from home, 1-0.
Oh, my gosh. So I've just had a look. since 2018.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4. So yes, Watford since 2018 have had 10 managers.
Jeez.
Yeah, sure. Well, look, Watford's owner goes through managers like a mafia don't go through mistresses, bro. One little fling and boom, boom,
Gone.
in it, bullet.
Nate,
Yeah.
what's the rating?
Well, it's Watford, bro. So it's E, in it. Even Roy can't save these, man. You know what it is? I hope he gets sacked before the end of the season so that he doesn't get a relegation on his CV. Because I want these man put in a spliff and bun up. Like, if Luton come up and Watford go down, I'm in heaven. That's just jokes.
Yeah, Luton's
Because
doing
these
very
men
well,
will be
aren't
stressed. No, they'd be stressed, cuz. You know how these men are. Oh, we hate Palace. What?
they? Why?
Mate, you're not even on our radar.
They're
Go
begging
ahead.
a rivalry just because of Zaha, and that's it.
And he put them in a spliff as well. It was the funniest thing ever. Their ground
yeah.
emptied before the fourth goal, bruv, because you were there.
Oh man, when the third goal went in, it was
Like a
you know
flood.
how you know how when you're the away you're in the away end,
Yeah.
and then the home team score and it makes that rumble and everyone's like gassed and then everyone around you's gassed, but just not us.
Yeah.
But it was the exact same noise, but it was only because they were all standing up to go home. They weren't celebrating; they were all going home.
We can see you sneaking out. We
Is
can
there a
see
fire
you
drill?
sneaking out.
Yeah, we've seen that against Everton. Jamie, how you doing, my friend?
How are you guys?
Not too bad.
We're all good, mate. We're all good. We're excited for next month.
Well, Jamie, you popped in at the perfect point. We're looking at 17th place. We're looking at Everton,
Which is your neighbours, the bitters.
25 points, minus 18 goal difference. What grade are you giving them?
F minus. All the fails. All the fails.
To be fair, if you look at how they treated Rafa, who wasn't doing the worst job ever, and how they're trying to suck off Lampard, it's like, was it really that bad under Rafa, though? I don't think it was, to be fair.
I don't get that. I really don't understand that. The Lampard love, but the Rafa hate when Lampard's awful at his job. But no, Everton.
Jamie, you got to remember, because Rafa's an ex-Liverpool manager, it was never going to end well for him.
No, shouldn't have been there in the first place, really, should he?
And he's also an ex-Newcastle manager. For some reason, Everton hate Newcastle. It's weird.
Do they? Why?
Because I think, you know how people always say Newcastle's such a big club, and that's well, they are a big club. Maybe not in trophies, but size-wise, they're massive.
Yeah,
Easily one of the most biggest clubs in England. Bar, they're up there with the Sunderlands, maybe Port Pompey and Southampton. They're much bigger clubs than people think they are.
Yeah.
But some people were like, we're not bigger than Everton. We're not saying they're bigger than Everton, but they are one of the bigger clubs outside of the so-called massive clubs that are in the so-called top six. I'm thinking, wait a minute, you can't really say Tottenham are bigger than Newcastle, surely. That can't be right.
No, Tottenham ain't bigger than Newcastle.
No,
Tottenham are dead. Tottenham are dead.
But Jamie, Everton, I'm not going to lie. I was nervous before the quarter final because I thought this is the most Palace thing ever. We play the worst team still in the competition, bar some of the championship teams, and they're going to smack us. That first 20 minutes, I was like, mate, we're getting put in a spliff. I'm worried.
Yeah.
Then Townsend does his ACL. Get well soon, Andros Townsend, by the way. Obviously, we hope he gets a speed.
Oh, that looks horrible.
Yeah. That broke my heart seeing that because I really love Andros, especially for that goal against City. Because JC, mate, the way he hit that, I was like, oh shit. He's just stunned the whole of the Etihad. But
mate, it looked like the ball did after it left his foot. It didn't even look like it was moving. It just hit the net.
Edison didn't know what had hit him. But when you look at the way their season's panned out, you've got to give them an F because they've spent so much money and gotten worse. I don't even know how that's possible. They're like Newcastle in 15-16. They spent a bucket of money and got worse.
Yeah. Mate, I'm giving them what I got in one of my Spanish exams, a U, an ungradable, bro. Lampard's going down.
Yeah, ungradable.
Ungradable, Oh my word.
That's because of Lampard, and he said how Palace wasn't a big enough job. Get relegated.
Jesus Christ.
What did he say? Fluke
Fluke goal, lucky goal, another fluke goal. That goal was all right. You're thinking,
did
just
Lampard
take some
actually say that
responsibility, man?
Palace weren't a big enough team for him?
That's why he didn't. That's why he didn't take the job. We offered him
Oh,
the job
man.
before Vieira.
The ego of this man is unreal, isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
That's why we were laughing at him singing "Sacked in the morning." You're getting sacked in the morning.
No,
I honestly think if Burnley ends up surviving, I think it will be in replacement of Everton.
It wouldn't surprise me with their league form. It wouldn't surprise me.
Burnley always seem to hang on, and I think that Everton are in too much of a bad way. I think Lampard's ruining his managerial career as well.
Well, it could happen to a nicer bloke. What a dickhead.
Well, Lampard. Remember, Lampard went to Everton to get away from a relegation scrap. Oh wait, no, he just got himself into a really bad one.
I mean, yeah, Everton.
I mean, this is the same Frank Lampard that was in the bookies to be Doncaster Rovers manager about 12 months ago. So,
Good old Donny. But no, Everton they're in danger here because looking at the league now, I think they're on 25 points. Watford are on 22, Burnley are on 21. Norwich are gone. So, yeah, Everton's fixtures are disgusting as well. So, you don't see him. I don't see him winning a game away from home or getting a point away from home. They might have a couple of home games that are getting through, but their last 5 games is horrible.
I'd take Gary McSheffrey over Frank Lampard any day of the week.
Mate, I'm not even joking. I'd have Frank de Boer back over Frank Lampard. Big man thing. I'd have Frank de Boer back.
That's a take. That's a clip.
Good old Frank.
That is a clip.
God,
Frank de Boer was next level shit. So I can see how that's coming across.
Hey guys, this is Everton's next 2 fixtures. So they're away to West Ham on the 3rd of April. I don't see him getting anything there. And then they're away to Burnley a few days later in their game in hand.
Come on, Burnley.
And then they're at home to United, at home to Leicester, away to us, at home to Chelsea, away to Leicester, home to Brentford, and away to Arsenal in the last game of the season.
And they've got to play us at Goodison as well.
Yeah, where are they getting points?
No.
Well, our record at Goodison is shit, so it wouldn't shock me if we drop points there. But
we get no points up there.
Maybe this year could be. Honestly, this year could be your year because we've never beaten Sunderland in a league fixture in our history, and we beat them 2-1 this year. We could still go relegated, so things can happen.
Things can happen, mate. But trust me, I hate going Sunderland.
We told 40,000 people it's just a fire drill in 60 minutes, so you can do it.
I know, no, Aaron, we did that when Balassi scored a hat trick. That stadium emptied quick.
But no, imagine it though. 1,000 Donny fans and the gods in Barcelona telling 40,000 fans that came for Defoe's return, is this a fire drill? I mean, there's nothing more embarrassing for Sunderland.
Oh no, it's called Connor Wickham failing his audition because he missed an open goal. And there's Yannick Balassi, who can't score for love or money, whipping it over their keeper, and it's like, Yannick, mate, yeah? 350 grand.
Connor Wickham. Jesus Christ.
I think he's back. I don't know where he is, actually. I think he's back at Ipswich or something like that.
Isn't he still at Sheffield United?
I think
he wasn't Wednesday for a bit.
Yeah, I think he's still there.
Well, let's move on to Leeds. 29 points minus 33 goal difference.
Oh, Wickham's at MK Dons. I'm going to go for a D for Leeds.
Yeah, D.
I think they've underachieved under Bielsa, and then I think Jesse Marsh needs a bit more time, so probably D.
They're living off that new manager bounce just yet. We need to see how he does in his first full season. Then we can judge him.
That's the full judgment.
Yeah, Leeds are going to be all right this season. I think they'll stay up now. They're them and Brentford. I was worried about them too to start with, but
back in a minute.
I think they'll be all right. It's out of Everton, Watford, and Burnley who join Norwich next season.
Yeah, I think it's the bottom 4. I think, like I said, Brentford, I think will be all right. I think they've lit up the Premier League a little bit, but Leeds, I think it's the whole sort of second season syndrome. Not really. think people have started to suss what they're all about now. They're playing way too attacking and leaving gaps open, and then they just started not scoring goals and just conceding them. So I think maybe it was time for Bielsa to go, and we'll see what Marsh does with a full season. Whether Leeds are in trouble next season or not, I don't know, but we'll see what the summer's like. But
Big up Brush in the chat.
Yeah, I see you guys. We'll come back in there. Jamie, do you agree with the D rating?
Yeah, I mean, Leeds will always go struggle this season for me because I just ain't got the squad or the players. And Bielsa was never going to change his philosophy of football. And that was always going to cause him a problem in the second season. So, and then with the injuries they got, I mean, I think there was one time they had a 15-year-old kid on the bench because they just don't have the players. So they were always going to struggle. They're probably just about going to stay up. So, D's are fair. If you look at them and Everton in comparisons, Leeds are where they should be. Everton are where they shouldn't be. So if you do it for that comparison, a D for Leeds.
Leeds' injury record is just as bad as Donny Rovers this season. That's saying something. So, yeah.
I've just realised who you are. Yeah, you're Doncaster Donny, ain't you?
Yeah, Donny James.
You're on the terrace a little bit, ain't you?
Yeah. They've only done top 6 shows, so I've not been on it much these past few months, but
that's where I first heard you from.
Oh yeah, let's go to 50th place, Brentford. 30 points, minus 14 goal difference. I'll take this one. I'm giving Brentford an A. I'm giving them an A for the main fact that this is the first time they've been in the Premier League and they've stayed up. So far. And I think that any team, even if you've been in the Premier League before, once you've come up and you've stayed up, that is an extremely successful season.
Yeah.
And I think with the manager they've got in Thomas Franks, I think that he's not a manager that will allow second season syndrome to hit them. However, I do think that if Ivan Toney does leave, and it does look like he really wants out of there for what's been happening on social media to him twice, I think that they could be in trouble next year. But so far this year, they're safe. First time in the Premier League. A point a game, 30 games played, 30 points. That's staying up in the Premier League. And yeah, it's an A. It has to be an A.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's weird with Brentford, talking about Brentford, because we've got history. We've got a big history. Because in 2013, we sort of sent them to a playoff final defeat, and we went automatically up to the championship as champions in the last minute of the match with the last kick of the game from a penalty on the other end. So me and Brentford have got history, but
I remember that. That.
Like, as a fan, you can just imagine what it was like as a Donny fan and a Brentford fan. But from where they've come to from that point on, because I've sort of kept an eye on them from that moment forward as like a little neutral eye, the way that club's grown over the last 8 years while we've been doing our own thing, I can't do nothing but respect Brentford and give them praise, because what they've done is they've realised where they need to invest on the pitch, try and improve off the pitch as well, improve with the times. And what they've done is they've grown as a football club, and they use the London area to help them grow. And I give them massive respect for what they've done the last 8 years.
And their money ball works as well, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It seems to be working so far.
They seem to be, they're happy losing £20 million a year, just selling on players and buying a new one. So I think their sort of model seems to be working in their own way. Second season syndrome, we'll see what they do, but I've got confidence that Thomas Frank will at least keep them up next season.
So what's your rating?
I'm going to go for an A as well. I think they deserve it.
Jamie, what's your rating?
B plus for Brentford. Started the season really well, and obviously have fallen away massively. They're lucky that the teams below them are utter tripe. If Everton and Burnley and that weren't having the season they're having this year, I think Brentford would be fighting relegation. They've done well. Don't get me wrong; they're doing really well. They're sort of going through their second heart. They're sort of going through their second season syndrome halfway through their first season. So they've sort of advanced it a year. But I do worry about Brentford next season because the Moneyball thing is all good. Don't get me wrong. Like Liverpool do it in a kind of way as well. But obviously, we do it at a much higher level. But I don't know if they can survive doing that next season. I really don't. Because Fulham are going to come up. I think Fulham are better than Brentford. Bournemouth, if they come up, I think they're better than Brentford. They're going to be in trouble next season. I don't know if the Moneyball thing will help them out. But they've had a good season. Don't get me wrong. They're going to stay in the Premier League. And that's another year of Premier League money for them, which is all good. But yeah, I do worry. I do really worry about them next season. But they've been decent. And I've enjoyed watching them.
Manchester Mania. Before you go, there's better chance of United winning the Champions League than us getting relegated next season, mate. I don't think so. I don't think so, mate.
Yeah, Nate. What's your grading for Brentford? Me and Aaron gave them an A. And
Jamie gave them a B+. Yeah. The thing is with Brentford, it's one of them where naturally new club into the Premier League, a third West London club in the Premier League. Well, the final West London club in the Premier League, should I say? Because we've had Fulham, we've had QPR, we've of course got Chelsea. I'm happy for them because. You know, I've always liked Brentford. It's not too far away from where I'm from in London, so I have kept an eye on them over the years, going up and down the leagues. And at 1 minute looking like it was non-league, and now it's Premier League. But with Brentford, it's a weird one because, as Jamie said, they started off like a house on fire. Got a massive home win against Arsenal, first game of the season. Got a memorable 3-0 draw against Liverpool. Sorry, Jamie, you know how that feels getting a 3-0 draw in London. It's probably fun. But having said that, despite some of their more impressive results, like a lot of teams who come up to the Premier League at first glance, it can kind of catch them off guard because they get a bit starry-eyed with all the glitz and glamour of the Premier League and the exposures on them. So I'll give them a B-. I think they've done fairly well, but as Jamie and everyone else has alluded to, their second season will be a strong indication of whether or not they can stay in the Premier League because Fulham are coming up, and Fulham, Brentford, and Chelsea. West London's going to get naughty. All those posh boys trying to scrap on the King's Road should be interesting.
All right, let's go Newcastle, 14th place, 31 points, minus 17 goal difference. Nate, I'll let you kick this one off.
Boy, well, before a certain financial takeover, I think most people had the Geordies to go to the Championship. But to be fair to them, they have bounced back in a very emphatic way. They brought in Bruno Guimaraes for a big amount of money. Chris Wood has come in and done a fair job. Joe Linton's been reborn as a midfielder. There is a God, if that's the case, because that guy was the definition of a brick. Oh, mate, trust me. I don't know why they paid 45 million for him or something stupid like that. It was like, oh my God, I could never live it down if Palace had paid that much for someone like him. But no, credit to them. You know, I mean, look, Newcastle are a club that should be in the Premier League. They were the great entertainers in the 90s, as Jamie will know better than anyone. Newcastle and Liverpool was one of the most entertaining games in English football. Obviously, the origins of their new investment will obviously cloud people's view because people don't like blood money, so to speak. But all money in football is blood money, no matter whether it's American money, Saudi money, Russian money, Chinese money. Somebody's blood's been spilled for that money to be where it is. So it's not really a bit of a vapid argument saying, oh, Saudi money is blood money. Yeah, it's a bit of a vague term. But what I will say, though, is that it's going to be interesting to see how Newcastle fare next season because obviously now that they've got unlimited funds in the bank, they can sign whoever they want. I don't think they're a big enough proposition just yet to bring in the Mbappes and Haalands and all of the world. They kind of need to build a squad of players that no one else is looking, like Liverpool did, and maybe they can push up to go back to the Europa League places and Champions League places because Newcastle in the Champions League used to be so fun to watch. Dabby's ass, not so much Titus Bramble, but there were players in that Newcastle team who were like, yo, Newcastle are actually pretty good in the Champions League, and then they fell off big time after Bobby Robson died. May he rest in peace. I'm going to give Newcastle a C because before the money, they looked doomed. Since the money, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do bad. It's hard to do badly when you spent 100 and something million in January as well. So
Fulham. Textbook case.
no, I'm talking like midway through the season because you know what's wrong already.
No, but just in general, if you're spending 100 million and getting worse, you're doing a Fulham or an Everton, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, I agree with Nate. Are we all in agreement?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
13th place, Seaweed, 33 points, minus 10.
I'll take that. I'll go for that. You two. Yeah, I can't have you two talking about them. Right.
Can't swear either.
No. So for the seagulling ice cream nicking bastards, I will give.
Love it.
I will give them a C plus.
Ooh.
They started the season really well. They're a good football team.
They won the league in September, apparently.
They did win the league before Christmas. That is true. They're a good footballing team. I think they have only Liverpool. Is it Liverpool, Chelsea, and City have more possession than them in the Premier League this season? Like they are a good footballing team. The problem with them is that they don't have a finisher in their team. And I've said this all season. If they had like I don't know, their version of a Jamie Vardy, they would be a top 10 club for me. And that's
Mopai's meant to be that guy with them.
Oh, Mopai rather kick people than the ball, though. That's his problem.
They got Danny Welbeck.
If they had them, it'd be a top 10 team. But without that, they're going to struggle. They're always going to struggle. As soon as it comes into the new year, the second half of the season, it's the same all the time for them. So, got a good manager. Personally, if I was him, I'd get out of Brighton because I don't think they're going to ever fulfil his potential. And he should be. Certain Brendan Rodgers might be leaving Leicester in the summer, so that job might be available. So, I go a C plus. It's sort of like the same season as last season. Not a lot of difference for me. Good football team.
Copy and paste.
But
JC, before we go out of them, let's just get one thing in there. They went from why did we let it bounce to 6 L's on the bounce?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
6 losses really killed them.
Right,
allow me to break out the violins. 1 second.
Sean?
Yeah.
Tell me your grade on Brighton. Oh, fuck.
Jordan,
already.
Money in the swear jar, Jordan.
Dan's killed it. I think that's my first one. It's good.
Actually, to be fair, you're under 5, so you're doing better than most.
Yeah, and you don't even know what Statman Dan's on.
Aye, but JC, nobody can beat Rich getting Brentford and them lot mixed up. That was jokes.
Yeah. That was, yeah, sure.
Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
Give us your rating on that Waste team.
Okay, to be honest, I do like Walker. He's a good striker. I wanted him to come with Palace, but he chose the Seaweed, so oh well.
Walker? He don't play for the Seaweed.
No, not Walker. Danny Welbeck, yes. Yeah. He's a good ball. I'm telling you, he's a good ball.
Yeah, I'm very happy that Malpe is still in Ty's head rent free. That just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Mopai, you're a disgrace. I hope Beef get relegated.
Oh, Brighton get relegated.
I don't know what
Aaron.
Graham Potter's a good coach. He's a good coach.
He is a good coach, to be fair, but he needs to move from that dead team quick.
I hope Brighton get relegated.
Aaron, stop swearing.
I'm gonna be fair. They won't get relegated.
I said I hope Brighton get relegated.
That's 3 times.
No,
What?
You can't say the B word.
Okay. 1 second.
Right,
1 second.
okay.
Aaron, every time you say the B word, you've sworn. That's why we don't say it on this channel.
Right, fair play.
Not
Fair
allowed.
Which
play.
is why when Statman Dan went on a massive rant about them, he forgot not to say it, and he's held corn on the forfeit challenge.
Yes, he held so much corn, he buggered off to Brazil and never came back.
Fair play.
He got on the first plane out of Carshalton, straight out of Gatwick to Brazil, and said, "You man, I'm not taking this L. I'm out of here." We ain't seen him since.
Brian,
Big him up
can't
every time.
the Seaweeds, they can't even finish above us. Not even once. That sucks, man. That really sucks. If I was a Seaweed fan, I would be pissed. Given
They'll be
that
Chelsea fans. They'll go back to supporting Chelsea
No.
again.
See, JC, this is how peak it is for these men. We gave them a 7-game head start their first season in the Prem. Yeah,
you're right, Nate.
no
You're
goals. One second, no goals, no points. It took us till October to win our first game. We still finished above them.
Yeah.
They took 6
even
points.
when we played run ball. Even when we played run ball. The run
They
ball was
took-
shit.
They took 6 points of us the following season. They still needed us to keep them in the league. And we were 13 points above them at the end of the season. And then we go into last season, and what happened at the Amex again? I don't remember.
Benteke!
Yeah, we got mullered, peppered, put in a spliff, rolled up, and Benteke just poured it in the back of the net, and you could just hear all those clappers fold neatly back in the drawer, never to be seen again. Because we're Crystal Palace, we clap with our hands. I've never forgiven them for those clappers. Those are embarrassing, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
fair
man.
play.
I'm gonna say one thing though, Nate. He got the luck of the draw. Patrick Vieira is the world's greatest manager. I'm telling you, I don't think no other manager could have done what he just did for us. I'm telling you that.
I mean,
I
fair
wouldn't go
play.
that
You
far.
guys hate Brighton. You guys hate Brighton like we.
Aaron, stop swearing, for Christ's sake.
That's 5.
Jesus, you guys hate the B team. The B team.
Say Seaweed.
Like we hate Rotherham. Fair play.
So did you just swear then? Because you hate that? Because you hate them, man.
No, well, he didn't say the B word, so we'll allow him. But just
Yeah. No, but I'm saying in his context.
oh yeah, he did, but he's not on a Donny channel, so he's not gonna, he's not gonna hold porn on that one. But
We don't exclude Rotherham from our fan base. We just call them inbred bastards.
yeah, see, we call Millwall that, so we can't call the two of them that because it would get confused.
Rotherham,
See, Aaron, with us, right?
Wow.
It's the seaweed or the vermin for their man on the south coast, and it's the inbreds or the knuckle draggers for Millwall. And as for the anoraks,
clowns.
no, well,
I
no,
don't want to think of nicknames for Rotherham, man.
I call the clowns the train spotters because a Millwall mate of mine calls them that.
Yeah, I go with B team with that team because I think B team sums them up compared to Palace. Crystal Palace, the A team, B word of the B team.
No, seaweed because it just pisses them off every time we call them that. It's always funny.
Yes. I think I would say C for seaweed.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Moving on.
12th place, Crystal Palace, 34 points, plus 1 goal difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The first team up until now to have a plus goal difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with
Let's
this.
give it to the guests. We can't grade our own team, so we'll give Jamie and Aaron the chance to grade our team.
Yeah. Because we know we'll give you our own team, so we'll say what they say and disagree with them probably.
I'm gonna go with B plus. I'm gonna go with that because I think that Vieira's defined expectations in his first season. I think that he's set up a foundation where he can build on that. I'm going to put our prediction here. I think this is Palace's best chance in the next 3, 4, 5 years to get anywhere close to European football. I think Vieira is going to give them the foundations that's going to lead to possible European qualification in a few years. Whether that be Conference League or Europa League, I think Vieira's put him in a good spot. So if they keep building up
Aaron, if it was still around, we take the Intertoto Cup. We're not picky. We're not Man United. We will take any UEFA competition we can get our hands on.
anything, literally, I think Vieira's put you in a
Mate,
good spot.
we took the Generations Cup trophy.
Innit?
Spurs have
Generations Cup winners. You'll
Tottenham
never
Hotspur.
sing that.
Tottenham Hotspur took the Audi Cup, so at least they've got something to hang on to.
Yeah, but bear in mind, Ty still celebrates Arsenal winning the Emirates Cup. Like,
Yeah,
know them ones.
And he still celebrates his invisible team.
Invincibles. Oh, Christ, give it a rest, mate.
You know, have you got an invisible team? Not an invincible. Have you got an invisible team? Have you got an invisible team?
Jamie, how Grizz did not punch him up, I don't know, you know.
Oh,
No, big
Oh,
up Ty.
Norm.
He's a good guy.
tired.
Are you more committed than me? Are you more committed than me?
I don't know how Grizz kept his cool. To be fair,
I will tell you more about your club than you know.
considering the man's 50, I think he said he was 51 years old.
Yeah, innit? I was like,
No.
what?
And he dresses up like someone's stepkid. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Yeah.
Jamie, do you know what it is? He's like the Tasmanian devil. He went in the Arsenal club shop, started doing all that spinning shit, and everything just stuck on him.
Did you see someone broke his headphones the other day?
Remember somebody took his hat? Remember somebody took his hat on a fan cam and he started reaching for them?
No, that was DT's hat, wasn't it?
No,
they hung it from the Homesdale.
No, yeah, it happened to DT, but it also happened to Ty. Somebody swiped his hat and you see him grabbing for them.
Yeah.
Let me at him, let me at him, let me at him, let me at him. Oh, it's just so funny.
Jamie,
Yeah.
before we go completely off track, what's your grading on Palace?
Oh, you know I love Palace.
Aaron gave B+.
I have got a massive soft spot for Palace. As I say, I don't actually live too far from Croydon, so I've got a big soft spot for them. They were the first game I ever saw Liverpool play was Crystal Palace in a '91 semi-final. So yeah, I have a soft spot for Crystal Palace. They're a good side, and I said to you guys all season that I really rate Patrick Vieira, the job he's doing at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, you did, to be fair.
And the young players he's been getting in and working on. And I said it's going to take quite a while to get that Roy Hodgson stink off. You know, it takes a while. You know, when you got players that have been playing, you know, pragmatic football for a few years. You know, Vieira's come in and told these players, "No, you're a good player. You can make that 10-yard forward pass that might have seemed a bit, you know, back a couple of seasons ago, you wouldn't have played that because it might have been putting your team under pressure, but have the guts to play that pass because once you make that pass and break the lines, you're in on their defence. Things like that. Yeah. When you get players playing at that standard already, that shows the class of manager and coach that you are. And we all know Patrick Vieira is a footballer, so he's always going to take that on as a manager. You know, that quality coach you got there is in the right place. You go have him for a good few years, I think, because he's got a plan at Palace, and you're doing well under him. And next season, I think you're going to be even better. I think you're a top 10 seat. I think you're a top 10 team next season. Really do.
Yeah.
I'd actually give him. I'm going to rate him quite highly. I'm going to give him a B+. And the reason is there might have been times that Hodgson might have finished where you're going to finish now, or a little bit higher under his reign as Palace manager. But, you know, towards the end, it was getting dicey, weren't it, for Palace? And he's come in, Vieira's come in, and this could have easily failed. Let's get it right. This could have easily, because when you're safe and secure with somebody, but not playing the most attractive of football, you know, it can be really hard to go, you know, that's not working for us anymore. And we're going to go complete opposite direction of where we were. Usually you go, most of the time you go like for like, don't you, to keep that safety feel when you're going. But they went the complete opposite direction. You've got to give big onus to the owners, whoever made that choice to pick up Patrick Vieira. And as I say, the football you play, I mean, I think you're the only team, Man City hasn't scored a pass this season.
This season, we're the only team to keep more than one clean sheet against them.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that game at Selhurst, that was literally cliffhanger settings.
Yeah, it was. But you played some bloody good football in it as well. You did have
No,
your
we
chances
did. To be
score
fair,
more
we
goals.
did. We did. To
You
be
did have
fair,
your chances to score goals, and yeah, I think this team will go up another level next season. I see you as a top 10 team next season. I really do, and and the owners have got full. They can fully trust Patrick now, so he's probably going to get some funds to get the players in that he wants. Maybe look at the loan system, see what's out there, because he's obviously very good with the youngsters. And moulding them into the way he wants to play, because he's moulding players in your team. Let's get it right. Who are not that great, but he's making them look really good at this moment in time. There's some players there, and if he can get players that are already at a higher level and make them even better, Palace would go. They could be Palace. I don't mean to say this horribly. When you get stepping stone clubs.
Yeah.
You get a club where they play really nice football.
Basically.
Like Southampton. That could be
Yeah.
Crystal Palace. You're playing really attractive football. You can get the young players in who know, if I play well here for a couple of years, I'm going to have good seasons. Never going to be in a relegation scrap. I'm going to be mid-table, top half table. Eyes are going to be on me. That sort of club. And I think, Palace can feed on from there as well in the future. So, yeah, B+ for Crystal Palace and Patrick Vieira. Done a great job.
Well, yeah, I'll keep mine short and sweet. A. Tell me, first season, he does a proper clear out.
Yeah.
Buys super well. Doesn't spend too much money and does a full rebuild pretty much. Changes the style of play completely. No Roy Hodgson football. We're in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and we're not going to get relegated in his first season of Premier League football. Case closed.
100%. Right. To be honest, he wasn't our first pick. We had, who was it?
Lucien Favre.
Nuno. Thank Christ we dodged that bullet. I am so happy we told him to jog on. Then Favre was the name mentioned, and he backed out at the last minute.
And it was Steve Cooper as well, wasn't it?
I don't count him. He's not in the equation here, but he was tipped for it. Good coach, but no.
And Lampard.
We've already addressed Fat Frank. With Vieira though, look, very early on in pre-season, you could kind of see what he was trying to do, because he brought in a lot of the youngsters from the 23s who can play this style of football, because Paddy McCarthy has tried to do that with the 18s last season before he got elevated up to 23 level, because Sean Derry was 23's coach. He's now part of the first team setup. The fact that Vieira's come in, no ego, he's worked very closely with Dougie Freeman, very close with Steve Parish and John Textor, who we had on the channel recently. It's weird seeing our club being run so well, and yet we're happy, because normally we're pissing moaning every week. It's like, we're going nowhere fast. We're going to get relegated. We're playing Millwall next year. To be fair, that'd be pretty funny. But it's mad where we're in semi-finals of the FA Cup, comfortably mid-table. We've been unlucky to lose some games against the big boys this season. We've gotten a massive result away at the champions, and it's one of those where it's like, is this Palace? We don't do this.
I reckon you could get a result against Chelsea if you turn up. I reckon you could go to the final.
Oh, listen, Aaron. The fans will turn up. It's just we're not used to semi-finals, whereas Chelsea are a winning machine.
Oh yeah, I just feel like Chelsea might take this as a walk in the park, and I think you'll turn up, and I think you might beat them.
Yo, JC, the scenes when Mark Gay scores the winner in the 90th minute in front of their fans, putting that man in a split.
Do you think Gay would celebrate it? He'd have to, surely.
Maybe.
Well, do you know what? I think out of respect for him, he probably wouldn't, but deep down he'll be gassed, and he'll be like, "Yeah, fuck you, lot, innit? You sold me and Tamori, and kept some wasteman like, nah, come on."
Well, yeah, going slightly off topic, I don't know how true it is, but it looks like Harris and Blitzer are trying to sell the stake here in Palace so they can try and fund their bid for Chelsea.
Oh.
Well, any excuse to get them parasites out of SE25.
And apparently there's a buyer for their stake. Would you take Texter to take the other shares of it?
Well, I mean, you've met Texter, and he clearly actually has an affinity for the club, which is a relief.
Well, yeah,
because
he said he wants to take the club, build it up, and then give it to his sons, so then they can carry on.
Yeah, but you see, that's what I'm saying is that because we've had him on the channel, and he's clearly got an affinity for the club. It's not just he's another American that's looking to invest in soccer ball. He's clearly got an affinity to us, as well as his project in Brazil with Botafogo. I'm just thinking,
off camera, he was very very enthusiastic about the youth system that we've got going as well behind the scenes. He's telling me that every youth game he watched it on the TV.
well,
He wakes up early and watches it on the TV.
Well, you see him tweet about it all the time. He's always tweeting about the youth teams. But look, it's weird. Like, Jamie, you'll understand this. You've gone from years of not knowing where your club's going to all of a sudden everything is going so well. You kind of feel sick. You're like, it's sickly sweet. Where's the soon to be misery? Like, Liverpool fans for years and years and years and years have stomached not quite being there and watching teams that shouldn't be there get there. The likes of City get into the Champions League and all of that. Jurgen Klopp comes in, changes a Brendan Rodgers team that had just missed out on the league and flattered to deceive in the subsequent Champions League campaign. And you're thinking, Klopp's a winner. So whether it takes him 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, he will get a very first trophy. And when he does, Liverpool back to being that team they were in the 80s and 90s and to an extent the 70s. Well, more so the 70s and 80s. I'm not saying Vieira is the same thing for us, but having Patrick Vieira manage us, and he's embraced our football club. Because prior to the Millwall game in the Cup, Ian Wright was telling him this is no ordinary derby, because obviously he's played in North London derbies. He knows what it means when you've got a regional game that's specific to a part of one city. If you go to Liverpool on Merseyside Derby Day, it's palpable. You can feel it on Derby Day. Same with us. We play Millwall, mate, and Jordan, you'll back me up on this. You can feel it in the air. It's not a normal day.
It's a hostile, very hostile atmosphere.
You know, there's a different air about the place when you're playing your fierce local rival. What did he do in that game? He didn't play the kids. He put some kids on the bench, but he took it seriously. We played a strong team. We just about got away with it. But in the end, we got the win, and we're now in the semi-final. So you're looking at that thinking, Jesus, we're doing really well. And obviously, he was the first to get relegated. And we all know why they chose Patrick Vieira. It wasn't a shot. But how sweet is it knowing that he's proven them all wrong? So big him up. I'm going to give us a B-. If we get to the FA Cup final, it's up to a B+. We win the FA Cup, it's an A++. If we get Europa League, mate, you, me, and Rich are going to be busy every week.
Eagles on tour. That's what it'll be.
Trust me. But no, listen.
Well, if you get to the final, I think you're in Europe no matter what, anyway. Ain't you? So
no, it's only the winners.
It's the winners now. Because it used to be the winners that would be already in Europe. It would plan to the runner-up the cup. Didn't it?
So for example, if we play City or Liverpool and either of you win it, we don't. It will then go to the highest ranked team in the Prem that hasn't already qualified.
Oh,
so
shit.
At the moment, that means
that's not right.
That means Tottenham and United get Europa, and then West Ham get Conference.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So see, that's because we when we got to the final in 2016, they changed it. I think after Hull got European football when they lost to Arsenal in 2014.
Realise you can't have Hull in
No.
Europe.
Like, to be fair, they got Hull got into Europe. That's how it worked. But Villa were in the final the year after them, and they didn't get Europe because it went to the next place team, and we didn't get it because we were in the final the year after that. So it's like, of course they changed the rule. They don't want Palace in Europe because they know that it would actually be good for English football rather than having Swansea represent England in Europe. It was like, they're a Welsh team. Why are they representing England, FA?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
They want their golden boys. They want their usuals in Europe and things like that. They're too busy trying to preserve their image.
Oh, totally,
Before we move on, just shout out Hartlepool because they've been backing us throughout the FA Cup.
Oh, listen, big up to Hartlepool every time. They've been phenomenal. And you know what? It was that I actually felt bad knocking them out because it's like, mate.
You know Mark Bogle play against you for Hartlepool?
I don't think so.
Just
Well,
'cause
I can't remember. It was a while ago, Aaron. It was a while ago, mate. It
Yeah,
was like
we
ages
sold
ago
him
now.
we sold him to Hartlepool in January. So
He probably he may have. I don't. We can't remember. See,
he might have come off the bench, maybe.
yeah, it was that long ago. All I know is that one of their defenders is from Croydon, and they interviewed him, Timmy Osudina. He's from our local area, so he got interviewed. But yeah, let's move on to it, JC. We've got to get through this.
We'll start cracking through this. 11th, Southampton, 35 points, -9.
You know what? I'm going to go with C because I think they've, compared to previous years where they've been in relegation battles up till last couple of games of the season, I think they've actually done better than they've done previously in previous years. So I'm going to give them a C because they've done better than previous years, but still room for improvement to get back to where they were in the past. You know, I remember the days of Van Dijk and Mane. So, I think C is a fair result.
Are you all in agreement?
Yeah, I'm fine with C. Got to say, Ralph Hodgson is a fantastic manager and a great coach. And I know one of the bigger teams are looking. You know, Man United are looking for a manager. You know, they got one right in their league who could come into that club and do a job. You know what he does with Southampton with no money, losing their best players all the time, is not a lot of other coaches would be doing that. Yeah,
and just got the takeover as well.
Yeah.
But Jamie, you got to remember
he does have one stinker in him a year, though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
9-0.
If you can put up with the odd 9-0 every year, then you'd be fine with him. But
but take it from someone whose club has lost 9-0. It's not fun when you're on the receiving end of a 9-0 lashing or a 7-0 lashing for that matter. It's not fun.
We've been on the end of 2 6-0 lashings in 2 different competitions, so we've not been nice about it either. In the same season.
How are you doing, Davey?
I'm doing all right, and it's been a very long while since I've been back. I have been full of schoolwork, but I'm on vacation, happy to be home, and happy to be back on this fabulous channel, which I can do nothing but big up all of you on. Also big up Rich himself. Happy to be back here. Still really, really unhappy with Manchester United as my mental health continues to spiral down the drain, as it has all season watching this football club, to be honest with you.
Well, when we get to United, we'll definitely slap that one on your head. But right now we're doing gradings of each team in the Premier League. We're currently on Leicester. They are 10th in the league with 36 points and a -4 goal difference. From A to F, where would you rank their season so far and why?
Me, Leicester. When I think of Leicester, and when I think of not just Leicester, but like there's many teams in the world when I look at them, we got to the Premier League. Some of the managers that they have, when I look at the football club as a whole, they are the team as a whole is a complete mirror of the identity and philosophy of the manager. For instance, when I look at Liverpool, that team and club is a complete and identical mirror of what Jurgen Klopp is as a person and as a coach and the way he likes to play. When I look at Leicester, along with Tottenham, they are the epitome of the bottle jobs. I mean, they mirror Brendan Rodgers, and as well as Brendan Rodgers has done in terms of taking them and increasing their stature since coming in I think he was middle of the 2018-19 season, coming in for Claude Puel. He's done a great job, but considering where Leicester were last season, it's been really, really disappointing, to be honest with you. But he hasn't been terrible, but it's been very disappointing. Getting knocked out of the Europa League, going into the Conference League. I think they put all their eggs in that basket, but as of right now, I'm very average. I'd probably have to say a C or C-. Very average.
Cool. Are we in agreement with that?
I'd say a D because they got embarrassed by their local rivals in the FA Cup as holders. That's gotta sting like hell.
because obviously Forest would have looked at that and said, "Oh,
That's very true.
they'd have been rubbing their hands, going, "Oh, a chance to give Leicester a bit of trouble." Wicked, and as you've seen, they did just that.
100%.
Exactly. Let's go, Aaron. Villa, 36 points, +1 goal difference, ninth in the table.
I think C again. I think C. I think Steven Gerrard's definitely done quite well with them. I think Philip Coutinho is insane business. Other business as well. Bailey. I think they've replaced Grealish very well, better than I thought they would.
I think Coutinho was the ideal replacement for Jack Grealish. I think a lot of people thought Emi Buendia was going to be the man to replace Jack Grealish, but it's actually been Philip Coutinho. And quick question, are we going to wrap back around to Manchester, or are we just going to continue down the table?
Oh, no, we're going up the table.
We're going up the table.
All right.
But yeah, I think that I think C's fair enough. I think they've done some good business. They've got a decent finish at the moment lined up. They're back to where they were during the glory days of Martin O'Neill. I think, we'll see what they do from going forward. We'll see if this improves or declines. So C for this season so far.
JC, as we move on, let's just give out a letter because we kind of need to wrap this up a bit.
Yeah. All right, we'll just go letter, and then Davey, you can speak about United for a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Jamie, Wolves.
B-.
Okay, Nate, West Ham.
B-.
Davey, Man United.
Oh, where do I start with this club? Where do I start? I think
just a grade, Davey. We're trying to get this.
If we're trying to wrap it up, then if I'm being completely honest with you, I have high expectations of my side. I'd say a D. Unbelievably disappointing. Looking at the Newcastle game and looking at the whole Ronaldo return and what I was thinking, looking at that squad, I was thinking, this squad can do things, and looking at where it is now, it's not good enough.
Okay. Aaron, Spurs.
F. Utter shite.
Jamie, let me get Arsenal, 4th place.
A-.
Nate, Chelsea.
No owner, no money, but somehow stood up there. C.
Davey, Liverpool.
A. Big in an A. I think they could very well nick Manchester City for the title. They very well could.
All right, and then City, I'll give them a B. I think they dropped off a bit.
That's
lately.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Davey, you're getting big ups from Rich from the sidelines.
I told you I'd be back again at some point.
Well, Davey, maybe you should jump in a bit earlier next time. Maybe we'll shoot you a message before we go live on Talkin Ish.
That was my bad.
But,
I bet I'm busy with work.
It's fine. We're all busy all the time. So this is Talkin Ish. Not sure when the next one will be. It just sort of happens whenever. Thank you to everyone that commented and joined in. Davey, Aaron, Jamie. If you guys want to shout out yourselves, Jamie, the floor is yours.
Cool. Yeah, so you can catch me on YouTube at Jamie Phillips Football Chats. That's my channel there. Well, I'll be doing the England-Switzerland watch along tomorrow, so come and join me that for a couple of hours of me doing anything but watch the game.
All right, Aaron.
Yeah, you can find me on the CHALL, Your Long Strovers fan. You can also find me on Coast Charlie if you're a theme park fan as well. And I'll be doing a lot of good stuff. So let's see if we get smashed by Johnny Jackson tomorrow.
Sweet. Davey?
You can find me on my channel, Premier League Primetime. Go and subscribe. You can find myself and my 3 other co-hosts. We are on the road to 200 subscribers. Might be a little push, but hopefully we can at least get to 150 by the end of the year. And yes, I will be definitely watching the boys as they play Switzerland tomorrow, and I will be watching Harry Maguire put in a masterclass performance for England and tell everybody and Man
So
United
nothing changes.
£3 million
Nothing
marquee summer signing.
Brilliant. Nate,
As always, Eagle Eyed Nate on Eagle Eyed Football. Talking Ish is back. When it's back again, we don't know just yet. Myself and JC need to get the budget sorted, but we will be back with this show as much as possible.
100%.
You can catch us for the Arsenal preview next week. But until then, we'll be back with some more content. Make sure you check out Eagle News with James. And we're out. Eagle Eyed Football, out the house.
Eagle Eye Football. That is Talking Ish. Peace out. Up the Palace.
Yeah.